Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a theme every anime fan loves, isekais. You know, those shows where the main character ends up in another world, usually full of magic, monsters, and epic adventures. And of course, as true fans, we love it even more when the protagonist isn't just some random dude, but an absolute monster of power. So grab a snack and get comfy, because today I'll show you the top 10 isekai anime with insanely powerful protagonists. 1. Handyman Saitou in Another World. Let's kick things off with a series that surprised a lot of people. Handyman Saitou in Another World might look simple at first, with an unconventional protagonist, an ordinary guy named Saitou who worked as a handyman in Japan. He fixes things, organizes tools, knows how to handle anything, but was never really appreciated in life. Suddenly, he's transported into a fantasy medieval world filled with mages, knights, and monsters. Here's the twist. Even without being a warrior or super powerful mage, Saitou proves his worth because he's the glue that holds everything together. From opening locked chests to repairing weapons, he's indispensable for his party. This anime shows that power isn't just about blowing up enemies with magic, but being so essential that nothing works without you. That's Saitou's power. 2. Overlord. If we're talking about overpowered protagonists, Overlord has to be on the list. This series is practically the definition of the strongest guy in the isekai world. The story follows Mynoghra, a hardcore gamer logged into Yggdrasil, an MMORPG about to be shut down. But when the servers should have gone offline, he realizes the world of the game is still running, only now it's real. As Ain's Ul Gaon, the undead overlord, he's unmatched. He's got forbidden-level magic, broken abilities, and an army of insanely powerful followers. But it's not just brute strength. Ain's is a mastermind. He conquers through fear, politics, and strategy, making his name feared everywhere. Overlord is pure power fantasy at its best. 3. Apocalypse Bringer Mynoghra. This one's lesser known but absolutely deserves a spot. Apocalypse Bringer Mynoghra stars Takuto Aira, a young man who dies and is reborn in a fantasy world as the ruler of a dark civilization called Mynoghra. Here's the catch. He was a fan of strategy games, and now he applies that knowledge to rule and expand an empire of chaos, corruption, and destruction. His power isn't just personal strength, it's commanding an entire nightmare civilization. He controls monsters, spreads corruption, and even the gods start to see him as a threat. Think of it like Civilization, but you're playing as the villain. A completely different take on isekai domination. 4. Demon Lord Retry. With a name like this, you know what you're in for. Demon Lord Retry. Here we follow Akira Uno, a normal guy who ran an online game. One day, he's suddenly transported into that very game, but in the body of his most powerful character, the demon lord Hakuto Kunai. Now he's basically a walking god. His powers are off the charts, his aura alone terrifies everyone, and no one can match him in battle. The fun part is the contrast. He's just a normal man on the inside, but stuck in the body of an unstoppable demon lord. Half the time he wants to handle things peacefully, but his presence alone freaks people out. It's a fun mix of comedy and overwhelming power. 5. In Another World with My Smartphone. This isekai is famous for being one of the most overpowered series ever. Tuya Mochizuki dies in his world due to a divine mistake, a literal accident caused by God. As compensation, God reincarnates him in a fantasy world with one special privilege: he can bring his smartphone. But not just any smartphone. This one is upgraded to work perfectly in the new world. It gives him maps, knowledge, communication, even contact with God. On top of that, Tuya gets affinity with all magic types, which is normally impossible. Basically, he's a walking cheat code. It's a lighthearted, easygoing power fantasy, but that's exactly what makes it fun. Sorsen Surlark. The Beginning After the End. Now this one is a fan favorite. The Beginning After the End isn't just an isekai, it's about reincarnation, growth, and second chances. The story follows King Gray, a powerful monarch in a world filled with war and violence. Despite all his strength, his life was empty and lonely. That is, until he dies and is reborn in a new world as Arthur Lewin. This time, Arthur keeps all the wisdom, experience, and intelligence from his past life. From childhood, he's already light years ahead of everyone else. He grows into a prodigy, mastering magic and combat like no one else can. But it's not just about strength. It's about finding meaning in his new life and becoming a true leader. Power here comes with emotional depth, which makes it stand out. 7. Reincarnated as a sword. This series has one of the most unique takes on isekai ever. The protagonist dies and reincarnates as a magical sword. It sounds weird at first, but it works beautifully. Without a human body, he still retains full consciousness inside the blade. Eventually, he's found by Fran, a catgirl slave who dreams of becoming an adventurer. Together they form an unstoppable duo. Fran wields the sword, while he, whom she calls Master, guides her, grants her powers, and helps her grow into a powerhouse warrior. It's emotional, action-packed, and shows how even as a weapon, the MC can be one of the most powerful isekai protagonists ever. 8. Beast Tamer. Beast Tamer starts off classic, but with a twist. Rain, the protagonist, is a beast tamer who used to be part of a hero's party. But since they thought he was weak and useless, they kicked him out. Turns out, that was the dumbest mistake ever. Rain actually has the rare ability to tame creatures that no one else can. Legendary beings, spirits, and monsters. On top of that, he gains part of their powers too. Soon enough, Rain builds his own incredible party of companions stronger than anyone could imagine. He goes from the weakest to someone no enemy can defeat. It's a satisfying underdog to OP story. 9. BOFURI. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. This one's technically a VR MMO anime, but it totally fits the list. The protagonist is Maple, a girl who starts playing a virtual reality game. Not knowing much about stats, she puts every single point into defense so she won't get hurt. The result? She creates an unkillable character. Maple is basically immortal in battle, immune to most damage, and along the way gains special abilities no one else can. She's so overpowered that even the game admins are shocked. And the best part is, she's adorable, fun, and completely unstoppable. 10. Trapped in a dating sim. The world of Otome games is tough for mobs. Finally, let's wrap it up with a very different isekai. Trapped in a dating sim follows Leon, a guy who dies and ends up reincarnated inside a dating sim game meant for girls. At first, he's just a background character, basically irrelevant to the main story. But since he knows all the mechanics and events of the game, he uses that knowledge to flip the script. Leon fights opponents who should have been unbeatable and gains respect where no one expected it. He wasn't meant to be the protagonist, but he rewrites his role and becomes one anyway. It's hilarious, clever, and full of badass moments. So there you have it, 10 isekai anime with insanely powerful protagonists. Each of these shows proves that power can mean many things: brute force, intelligence, strategy, or even sheer luck. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these anime have you watched, and which one is your favorite? Or maybe there's another OP isekai protagonist you think should be on this list. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.